Welcome to Empower. I'm glad you're together with us today, and I'm so happy that you've chosen to be part of this program. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. In Empower, we focus on people and workplace. We continue to learn because we want to improve ourselves every day, every time, so that you can become better and better, and at the end of it all, become the people that God chose us to be. And that is why we are here today to continue with our various discussions. And today we have such an amazing discussion whereby we are looking at workplace counseling. Yeah, because people are facing a lot of things. There are difficulties in these times we are living in. Sometimes we are struggling so much, but it is good for us to talk about it, because there is need for help, there's need to discuss, there's need to talk, there's need to be helped, so that we can continue to become the people we should be. And I'm not alone. I have a very great man together with us. He's going to introduce himself, then you can get to know him more as we continue with our discussions. Welcome.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself to us.
Yes, my name is Victor Otieno. I'm also called Vic.
Just Vic. Yes.
Yes. So I'm a counselor, practicing counselor.
Yes.
But I didn't start as a counselor. Yeah. I began as a teacher.
Wow.
I trained to be a teacher in campus, and I taught for almost 8 years.
Wow.
In the private sector.
Yes.
And I also became a manager in the education field. I've worked as an education manager in Kampala, Uganda.
Wow.
And here I am now. I also happen to be a pastor.
Beautiful. Pastor, counselor, teacher.
Yes. Retired teacher.
Retired at an early age.
Yes.
Because you don't look old. So I'm just imagining you retired, but you keep teaching here and there, definitely, as you pastor.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Because even when you are doing counseling,
yes,
you are still helping people. In the church, you are still teaching, so it doesn't stop.
You know, there's a saying that they say that once a teacher, always a teacher.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even to your children, you are still teaching.
I agree, because I'm also a teacher by training, and I keep going back there. I think I can actually agree with them that said once a teacher, you always remain. You can get yourself in it, but sometimes without thinking.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Victor, why did you switch from teaching to counseling?
Wow. I like I said, I was a teacher first.
Yes.
And by the time I was going to switch, now I was in management. But then I got called into ministry.
Wow. Yes.
So when I got called into ministry, I've gotten so used to working that I knew I was not going to stop working. And the work schedule in private sector as a teacher is a bit tough.
Yes.
So I wanted to study something that would allow me to practice as I am serving God. So I went back and I studied a master's in counseling psychology.
Wow.
And that's where we are.
And that is how you continued for the last how many years?
Now 4 years, pushing into 5 years now.
And you're enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fun. Wow.
When you're doing counseling, maybe before I get to the workplace, do you deal with old people maybe, or young people, or how do you?
I'm trained to deal with all people. And but I've found myself dealing with the workplace.
Yes.
And dealing with the young people because of ministry. I happen to minister a lot to the youth. So I've found myself workplace and young people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You know, one thing that I've come to realize that it doesn't matter the age someone is in, even the young people, even very young children, sometimes they go through some moments whereby they need someone to walk with them.
Exactly.
And I think that is why even at workplace, we want to appreciate counseling. Because maybe during your experience at workplaces, what are the issues that keep coming up that requires counseling at workplace?
Oh, a lot of issues. You know, one thing that any employer would make a mistake in ignoring is that people are social beings. Now, that employee you have in your company, it can be the manager, the admin, whichever part, whichever job is doing.
Yes.
But he's a social being. He's coming from a family. He's having a wife, he's having a husband, they're having children, they're having parents, they're having, you know, siblings.
Yes.
Now, this person as well has used some of them public transport.
Yes.
Even those in private transport, they are dealing with people as they are coming to work.
You're right.
So all these things, they boil up in the person, and they are the financial issues, the taxation, you know, which is quite high.
Yes. Yes.
There are the marital issues, you know, there are disagreements, there are the mental health issues. Now, all these things, they will affect how people will perform at the workplace. So that is why it is very, very important that in the workplace, there is a system that addresses these issues. Because if they are not addressed, they will still affect the way people will be performing their work. In the workplace, again, people are still interacting with each other. There is the tea person, there is the security person, and all of them. Now, do you know that some people even need help on how to relate with each other? You can assume it is normal.
Obvious,
it's obvious, but it is not obvious. So you better deal with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking some things that are very important, because I think in most cases at workplace, our concern is, are you doing your work or not?
Results.
Yes, actually, employers and us who are in HR, we are looking at performance and results. But at the same time, you bring up some very key aspects that we are social beings, and there are things that may be going through us that we may not even easily speak to our employer about because of how we relate with them. And I think such a system that you're talking about is important, whereby is there somewhere these people can go and they have a conversation and they go through.
Exactly. People are social beings, and we have had issues, and we have seen this in news. Someone who has been a good member of society, one day wakes up and kills his family members.
You're right.
One day someone just torches his house, torches a business. And even when we see demonstrations, let's talk about
what we are going through now.
Yes, it's a common thing in our nation. For some people, it's not just the issue. I'm not saying that it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, but for some people, some people have bottled a lot inside, so that when they find an outlet, they will go beyond, you know. So that is why it is very, very important to address issues that people face. And like I've mentioned, there are a lot of issues people face. There are marital issues, financial issues, you know, income issues, ability of a husband, for example, to provide to his family. Now, all these are serious, important issues that need to be addressed.
Wow. But why, how comes most organizations are not keen on this, on workplace counseling? Because you realize not many do. Okay, some do have, and they can maybe ask you to go and see so-and-so as a counselor hired for the organization. But majority of organizations actually don't embrace this. Why do you think this is the reason?
Problem is, I would say it is trying to use yesterday's solutions to solve today's problems. You know, the workplace has gone through a lot of changes. Like every other aspect of our society, there have been changes. We are coming from a place where people used to be very social. People used to live in communities. People used to have a lot of support. To a point where today, that is no longer there, because you are not in where you were born.
You're right.
You are in a town. Not only that, we are talking about the Gen Zs. These are people who have grown up without parents. Parents are busy at work. Some of them are coming from very broken families, single parent families.
Many issues.
So we have to realize that solutions that worked yesterday cannot work today. We have issues that came up the other day, like COVID. COVID rendered so many people jobless. So many industries closed. People who are very responsible family members, because, you know, for most men, if you can't provide, there's really nothing else you can do. For most men, I'm not saying that's the ideal. It's not the ideal one, but that's how it is. So things that worked 50 years ago, 100 years ago, cannot work today. We have to realize this. Our Gen Zs have shown us this.
Because it's what is expected by the the employees that we're having right now.
Yeah.
And it's different from what we had yesterday or the days that have passed.
Exactly.
But it's unfortunate that most employers may not really see this, or maybe we are not able to see this. And our focus is, why should I spend more to hire a counselor?
Yeah.
And actually we've reached a point whereby people, and it's actually very, very painful, where someone will even tell you, I don't care what you are going through. When you come here, leave your problems at the gate or at home,
and you give the results.
Come and deliver. But as you explained that, it shows that if I come with those, if you ignore those problems as an employer, definitely I'll not deliver. You will not deliver.
Yes. You know, the thing is, once you have known that people are social beings, and people have emotions, people have feelings, it will be cheaper in the long run to invest in making people feel good than to wait until things go wrong. Because okay, you can give me conditions, perform or go home. At the end of the year, after you have done your assessment, I have not performed, I go home. You know, the process of employing again, training again, you know, showing them how your company culture is, it will take time. During which time you might be losing clients, you know, because again, in some businesses, clients will tend to relate with the employees they've been dealing with. True. So it is not expensive. It might look expensive on the onset, but it is not expensive. When people feel good, when the people you have feel like you care for them, they will give you the output you're looking for. Wow. And I think it's a very key point, because you cannot separate me from what I'm going through. Exactly. You know, it's like what I'm going through is like this phone, I'll just put it aside and I don't have it. These things are in me. You know, if you are a mother, you are having a baby who is breastfeeding. Believe me, it affects how you perform. You will be worried, where is my child now? Maybe you didn't have a house girl. Maybe the house girl you have is not dependable. It will affect how you perform. And that's why you find that some companies that have learned this, have this system where they have a nursery for I mean, is it called lactating mothers? For mothers who are breastfeeding, so that someone is looking at the children at the nursery, then the mother can go breastfeed the child and come back to work. They will be settled. You know, but now when they are here and they are stressed, you know, fear does not give results. It is knowing that you care that will make someone settle. That will make someone want not to fail you. But fear does not work with adults. They can show you they are afraid, but an adult is an adult at the end of the day. So even if I show you like I'm fearing, but in real sense I'm not. They are not afraid. They will pretend in front of you because you have shown them that you are fearful. But if you make them respect you, because when you care for your employees, they will respect you. Me. And when they respect you, they will not want to fail you. So you'll find that investing in employee assistant programs, one of which is counseling, is very, very important. It will give you the result you want. So is it the same as maybe, is it also a wellness program? Exactly. Exactly. Wellness program. It can include, you know, training. It can include training on health care, you know, taking care of people's physical health, people's mental health, emotional well-being, all that. Because all these things can really put me down as an employee. They do. They do, definitely. So make sure someone is well wherever they are, and they will settle. They will want to stay there. I want to give you an example. Years back when I was teaching, I don't want to mention which school, but they had this program where they actually kind of insisted that if you have a child, bring your child to our school. Because the reasoning was you would not want to fail your child. So because your child is one of the students, so you don't want to fail them. Definitely put my full effort. Exactly. And now once your child is here, you know, and it's an expensive school that you can't afford anyway, your child is here, you don't want to let, you know, the school down. That's an example. So when you take care of people's immediate issues, people settle down and then they are able to perform well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think that is very critical.
Yeah.
And I think I would maybe, I know we'll be taking a short break in a few, but I would love to understand, or maybe just for you help us to understand what this counseling is. Because as we talk counseling, sometimes some people ask, or we have confused, even in schools, guidance and counseling. But what happens is when I'm in a school and I'm a teacher, I'm the guidance teacher, I'm just talking and talking and talking to children, which I think may be different from what counseling is. And I think that would be good for us to look at it, because I think as I listen to you, what is coming out very well, that for us as an organization to succeed, we need to take care of these things that people are going through, and providing them a forum or a system through which they can be assisted. We need to take a short break, then we'll continue from there. Thank you so much for listening to us and watching us. Don't go far. We are taking a short break. We'll be right back. My name is Beatrice Chuchu.